if you actually go to the crosstabs in that poll, I'm at 10%. Notice I'm tied with Pagliuca. He spent $5 million on television, another $2 million on everything else, radio ads and something else. I've only spent $300,000 on it, $325 by the time that poll was done, and about $1.5 million total. And yet I'm tied with him. That's because I've got grassroots support. The other thing that we did this weekend, this is why I can win the election. I'm an entrepreneur. The conventional wisdom in a special election is just raise a bunch of money, go on TV. Actually, it's just the opposite. I raised a fair amount of money the first quarter. I put it all into building the best field operation in the state. Because I know this is a special. 93% of the people don't even know that there's an election on December 8th. The Herald did a poll on that last week. 75% are still undecided. We went door to door this weekend. We had more than 500 volunteers in the streets. We knocked on over 15,000 doors, and guess what? Well, actual voters we talked to, not a poll. Emily didn't understand what I was saying on this. I'm getting 9.8% of them. 67% are undecided, which I like, because it means people are still open, even with all this stuff. 9.8% are firmly with me, another 10% are leaning towards me. Because what's happened, I don't have broad support, but I got deep support. So the 500 people that go out there, they make the case. Let me tell you about Alan Casey. I haven't heard about him. He doesn't have the money to be on television, but let me tell you who he is. So I'm getting another 10% that's leaning toward me. Martha has 9.3%. Congressman Capuano has around 6.8%, and Steve Pagliuca only has 2%. So these ads aren't working.
Is that firmly committed or leaning? Just from what you remember.
It was, well, the 9.8% is firmly committed.
For
to
you,
me.
right.
The 10.1% is leaning.
Right.
But for Coakley and Capuano and Pagliuca, it's firmly and leaning.
Okay.
This is from our door-to-door canvas.
Yeah.
This weekend, 15,000 doors. So this is why.
How good a poll is that if they're also the advocates?
Well, it's not a poll. It's direct data from going to houses, so it's not as scientific as a poll. And what's happening is, but this is like, the conventional wisdom in the media is, well, Casey's in fourth place. Actually, when you look at the poll the Globe did, only 25% of the people have made up their mind. So we're going to be canvassing every weekend. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. We're going to hit at least 100,000 homes directly. And what's going to happen is, there's going to be 2 big televised debates the last week. Nobody's going to make up their minds until the last week. And the way you guys cover politics, it's like sports. So it's going to be, Battle of the Champions, the last debates, the big debate. Will there be fireworks? Is anybody going to finally take on Coakley? And what's going to happen? I'm thrilled about this, because what it's going to mean is, because it's back to back, I think most voters are going to say, I can tune into one of them. If it was like a Monday and a Thursday, they'd forget, but it's literally back to back. So I think most voters, and again, people don't decide till the last week. You know this, you've covered politics. Most elections come down to the last 5 days. I think what's going to happen is people are going to say, I'm going to catch one of those debates. I know it's back to back, so if I can't watch Tuesday, I'll watch Wednesday or vice versa. And I think I'll do well. And then what's going to happen is all the grassroots stuff and even most people even hear about me.
Doesn't someone have to drop out though to get enough room to? I mean, if enough people, so many people's second choice seems to be her.
Second choice.
Yeah.
Not first choice.
Well,
so what's going to happen is,
by
the time those debates happen, and before the election, we'll hit 100,000 homes, and nobody else is doing this. And so they go, hey, that Casey guy, he sounds pretty good. And by the way, somebody from his campaign came to my door and talked to me directly or left me a nice note. And he is different. He's not a conventional politician.
So do you think you have the biggest door knocking operation of the 4 candidates?
There's no question. Look, Martha was bragging on her website yesterday that she had 109 people out and they knocked on 1,500 doors. Okay, she's the front runner. She's raised tons more money. She's got the name. I had 500 plus people out and we did 15,000 doors. So in terms of the canvas primary, we won 10 to 1. And we're going to keep doing it. So, I think what her door knocking was, we'll find out next weekend if she's going to do it again. But I can tell you, we did a canvas this weekend. She did a canvas. She had 109 people. They did 1,500 doors. So first, even her people, they only did 15 doors a person. We had 500 plus people, and we did 15,000. So we're getting our people are more committed. They're going to more houses, and we're getting a lot more done. So, but this is, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't play by the rules. This election is different. It's not a regular, the part of me that loves democracy is appalled that only 15% of the people are likely to vote. But the part of me that's a dark horse grassroots candidate who's had a strategy from the beginning about going door to door and reaching voters directly for a small turnout is thrilled. Because you can win this election with 150 to 175,000 votes. And we have the system that not only is going to identify them, we're going to turn them out. And we're going to have more and more volunteers every day. They're already signing up. So this is different. The conventional wisdom is, well, Khazei's not on TV. I'm not. Look, you can study other campaigns. Dark horse candidates, it's a hockey stick. It's not, and I'm feeling pretty good. I started at 1%. I'm now at 10%. Look at the Boston poll. Look at the crosstabs. I'm now at 10% among the voters that have decided. And that's even before we launched our big canvass. So, and I'm raising more money. I'm excited about that. So what's going to happen with me is I'll go from 10 to 12, and then we'll have those debates, and then the weekend of the election I'm going to significantly increase. And I think the fascinating thing is, and this is, this is indicative of the kind of political leader that Attorney General Coakley is. She is careful. She's run a very careful front-runner campaign. Now, the good news from her is she's still ahead. The bad news is she hasn't closed the sale. 75% of the people have not firmly decided. That's actually quite remarkable, given that there hasn't been debates, there hasn't been, it's all been Coakley. But that's got to tell you something. Why hasn't the sale closed?
So you've raised about $2 million
We've
so far.
raised 2.3.
And as I recall, the cash on hand is about 500,000.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything about where you've spent the $1.5 million?
We've spent most of it on the grassroots operation. I mean, we're now, going up on television. We spent a little bit on television. Look, I haven't raised as much money as other candidates.
Right.
I'm not taking PAC lobbyist money. I'm not taking any special interest
Right.
money.
But you've actually spent,
Can we get a card? Yeah, but we've spent.
Not as much as
We
Stephen,
haven't.
obviously.
No, we haven't spent as much as anybody.
Yeah.
But as I said, David, we took the money we raised, we built the field operation. We also had to build a campaign infrastructure from scratch. I didn't have the conventional politicians in this race. Capuano had a congressional base and a congressional campaign staff. He's been in politics for 20 years. Martha had a statewide campaign apparatus. So I also had to build a campaign team from scratch. And Steve was able to buy one. I mean, literally, just unlimited checks. What does that cost? What does that cost? What does that cost? So, yeah, we're scrambling. We don't have the kind of money. We're looking for grassroots donations, $5, $10, $25, etc. Thank you so much. How long are you here for?
Just another day. I mean, I got to split back tomorrow. I came in yesterday. It's fun.
Yeah, that's
I had to
great.
see Doris Kearns Goodwin at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
That doesn't happen too often.
That is great. Thanks for your interest. If you want any more information, just let us know. Sam, did you give him your name?
Yeah, I did already. I gave it all too. I got it all.
Carl, thank you.
And we gotta go. So
We gotta go.
Yeah,
We gotta go.
we really gotta go.
To go into an event right now. But,
Yeah.
It's been a long.
so yeah, we're looking for grassroots donations, $10, $25. We're looking for people to come out and canvass. This is a different kind of campaign. It's a grassroots campaign. I have citizen power and people power, not big money power, not special interest power. And I think that's what people want. I think, look, Congress is at 22% approval rating. People know it's not working there. So if you want one more person who's going to be more of the same, then vote for Congressman Capuano or vote for Attorney General Coakley. If you want somebody who has a proven track record as a public service pioneer, who's actually gotten things done in Washington, who will tell you exactly what he thinks, whether you agree with him or not, who has put out comprehensive plans on every single issue, who's ready to make change because he's not tied to the special interest, then I hope you'll vote for me. And I hope you'll get involved in the campaign right now.